The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar this afternoon. I'm really excited to have everyone on the call. We've got a great turnout on the webinar, and I'm just really excited to kick off our Music and Memory project here in Kansas with each of you. Today's webinar, get things situated here. Our today's webinar will really be divided into three parts. I'm Barbara Hickert. I'm the State Long-Term Care Ombudsman, for those of you that don't know me, and I'm going to talk about the project here in Kansas, about our grant, about what we're going to do to help support you in implementing this project in your community, and a little bit about what we need you to be doing and getting ready to do and help, and what we need your help with on the grant. And then we are very, very fortunate to have Stephanie Hoffman from the Music and Memory organization that will be here talking about music and memory, and she'll give you some tips and ideas and ways and ideas for getting started and things, again, from their perspective that will be helpful to you in getting this going in your organization. And then we really wanted to also give you plenty of opportunity to ask questions. Many of you have sent me questions and asked me questions about the project and just different details, but wanted to make sure that we gave all of you a good opportunity to ask any questions you have, either of me about the grant or of Stephanie about music and memory, and how that will function, and some ideas about that. So want to make sure that you have plenty of time to do that. So we've allotted a good bit of time at the end for questions and answers. So wanted you to know a little bit about how, in case you don't know how to ask questions. You should be able to hear me. You should have already, hopefully you're either listening through your mics or your speakers, but there's a little bit, this is what you should be able to see, is to help you with those settings and be able to hear us, and then maybe later on also be able to ask us questions. Everybody right now is muted, right now we cannot hear you, but as we get into the question and answer period, one of the options for you to ask questions will be to raise your hand. You can see the hand icon pointed to in the middle of the screen. If you click on that by your name, you'll be able to we'll be able to unmute you and then give you the opportunity to ask your question. But you're also welcome to enter questions in the box that you see on your screen. And you can do that as we go along. So if a question comes up or in your mind as you're going along, you don't want to wait, want to make sure you remember to get that asked. You can certainly type questions as we go along, and then we'll look at those at the end of the webinar during our question and answer period, and give you that opportunity to get those questions answered. So hopefully everybody's excited as we are and ready to go. So we're going to move forward and talk about our goals for the projects. So we're very excited about this. I had an opportunity to see the Live Inside movie at the Alzheimer's Association at a conference of theirs a few years ago, and have been very excited about it ever since, and think it's just a great great opportunity to help our residents, and really wanted to find a way to help you folks bring that to your residents. And so when this grant came on available, we applied for this. We talked with a number of other states that are already doing a project like this, and got some ideas for them how we might organize it. And so off we go. But we have some goals, some ideas of what we're hoping your residents may benefit from this project in regard to, and one of those is reducing the off-label use of antipsychotics. And so while our program, while the Ombudsman's Office has taken the lead on this project, we're also working collaboratively on it with the Kansas Partnership for Improving Dementia Care. And so we're hoping that we see maybe some improvement in this area. Just got data just yesterday about our rates in our state, and while we are still boo-hoo, the 47th highest state in the country in our use, we have just had some significant improvement. So other states are improving too. So we stay 47th, but in the last quarter, we've moved from a 15% decrease to a 19.9% decrease, almost 20%. And so that's very exciting, but we know we can do more, we can do better. And so we want to hopefully see some improvement there. We're hoping to see some improvement in depression and pain rates. But we also hope that you'll see improvement in the satisfaction for your staff, for family members, and even for your staff. I think it's a great opportunity to involve families, and that helps to improve their satisfaction. Have this project be something that incorporates them, and staff appreciate having a resource and a tool that helps them to help the residents that they care for. And I think those things can hopefully have an impact then on those things in your facility. As you probably know, we are actually going to track those first three things, the antipsychotics and the depression and the pain rates in your facilities, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit as we go on. But we're not going to be tracking that final measure, that improvement in resident and family satisfaction, but we encourage you in your facilities to use this as a QA or QI or a QAPI project, and look at those things in your building as well and follow that and see if this is something that works to improve these measures in your facility. Wanted you to see a list of the 30 facilities. We had an amazing response to our grant application. We had 97 facilities apply, and out of those, we were only able to help 30 of the facilities with this project, and these are the 30. So if you're on this call, that means you should be on this list. But I also want to show you the list of facilities in our state that are already certified. So these are facilities who have already applied for not applied for the grant, but have already worked with Music and Memory with their organization, become certified, and have already implemented a project in their buildings. So I think that's important for you to see that, to see both the slide before, where you know who's in our project, but also who maybe around you or near you is already implementing a project. So you might see a friendly face or two in the list that maybe you know and you could talk to about the project in their building. Let's use them as a resource as well. So our role in this project is first of all to provide some financial assistance, and we're going to do that in two ways. One, we're providing the cost. We're paying the cost for the certification training. So the certification training that Music and Memory organization puts on and that you'll be participating in, we're covering the cost of that for each of you. We're also going to provide for each of you after that a starter kit, and we'll talk about what's going to be in that starter kit for your residents in another slide. We're also going to provide some other support, because we don't just want to help you with the certification and then hand you some iPods and then say have fun. We want to help you throughout the year to implement this, to help your residents and your staff to work on this project in your building. And so a couple of things that we're going to be able to do is, one, we're going to have these webinars on a monthly basis, and we're going to offer quite a bit of diverse training, but really focused on the folks in your building with dementia and maybe working on that care, but also on the implementation of the project. So twofold purpose in those webinars. And some other resources. We're dedicating a page on our website. We've already provided some print documentation to you, some information about how to organize your teams and things like that. But we wanted to give you as much resources and help as we can in those ways. And then the other thing is that all of our regional ombudsmen are there ready to support you as well. So your regional ombudsmen have all gone through this training that you'll participate in next month, or maybe the month after for some of you, to become a certified facility. We've already done that. All of us have already gone through that training and are familiar with the project and how it works. We also have the advantage that we do get into other facilities. We're in all of the nursing homes in our state, and many of us have seen this project in action in other facilities, and we can see what other folks are doing. So if you've got a question about something or a problem you've come up across, it's possible that we've seen that, we've seen the answer to that problem in another facility, and we can kind of help share how that's worked in other places. And that's not unlike the support we offer to your organizations on any topic that we're familiar with, but this will just be one more way that we're a resource for you as well. So I talked about the starter kits that we're going to be providing to you after your certification training, after you participate in the certification training with the music and memory. Your regional ombudsman will be delivering a starter kit to your facility, and that will include 7 iPod shuffles. It will include 7 headphones. It will include 7 AC adapters because they don't come with an adapter to plug it into an outlet for charging. So we're going to provide you with that. We're going to provide you with a splitter, which you'll learn a little bit more about in the training, but in essence it allows more than one headphone at a time to listen to an iPod, and it helps you to hear what's happening, hear what that resident's hearing. Family members can then join their loved one. It's got a lot of applications. We're getting you one of those. You might need to think about some more of those. They're not very expensive, but we're going to provide you with one so you can kind of see how that works and understand it. And we're also going to get you a $25 iTunes gift card to provide some seed money to help you with downloading some music from iTunes for those iPods, so that we can get that started in your building. Also talked about the webinars that we're going to have, our monthly webinars. And again, this is the first of those monthly webinars. Next month, April 26th, is going to be kind of a getting started operationally, nuts, bolts, suggestions, ideas. And these we've got a couple of providers who are different in the way they've implemented in some ways, and has some differences that I think you'll be able to take some positive ideas from both of them and be able to ask them questions as well. I think that will be a good thing, good experience for you. They're really excited about the opportunity to help more facilities to do what they've done because of the successes that they've seen. In May, we're going to have a music therapist join us for that webinar. She's going to talk about music therapy and music and memory and kind of how it works and how they complement each other, and maybe some ways to look for improvements and how to choose music and why music works and why it all helps. And so kind of get that piece. I think that'll be helpful. And some other topics then that we have planned are that we were working with a pharmacist, with Michael Preston, about doing a webinar on reducing antipsychotics appropriately. Hoping that happens in June, but we haven't finalized that date yet. Michelle Needens from the Alzheimer's Association is going to be here in July. She's going to talk about some of the challenging behaviors that you see and how to recognize maybe before it gets to a point where it's out of control and it's a problem that's difficult to deal with. So kind of catching those early and what to be looking for. So that'll be a great opportunity for your staff as well. And then in October, we've got an activity director scheduled to talk about providing meaningful activities for your residents with dementia. So as you can see, we're hoping to give you a lot of tools, not just this, the music and memory tool, which is a great tool, but lots of others as well in these webinars. So what's your role? Your role, which is we've sent some information about these things, but it's to get a team together and to plan how you're gonna organize this and plan it in your building, and how you're gonna support music and memory in your community. The next step is going to be for you to get certified, and we had planned as much as possible for everybody to participate in the April training. That's April 12th, 13th, and 14th. From noon until 1:30. They're a webinar-based training, just like today's webinar. And so we're hopeful that most, if not most of you will be able to participate in the April training. If that's not possible in your building, if you've got a conflict, and I have heard from a couple of folks where that is, I need to know that so that we can plan on you for a following month. Music and Memory Organization does these on a monthly basis, so if we can't get you in the April training because that doesn't work for your community, then we'll look at May, and if that doesn't work, we'll look at June. So we'll definitely get you trained, and hopefully earlier in the year would be the best for the purposes of our grant. So let me know if April 12th, 13th, and 14th isn't going to work. Then bring this program to your residents. We'll provide equipment for 7. If you can find ways, and you'll learn a little bit, I think, as you listen to other members of the community, our webinar next month, ways that other folks have expanded their program beyond their initial iPods, have gotten family support, community support, and some other ways. So certainly bring it to the 7 residents, identify those, but if there's others and you can find ways to bring this expanded in your building, that would be great. And then we've got a report, as all grants do. There's reporting requirements. So we've tried to keep this as easy as possible, but we are asking that each facility provide us on a quarterly basis, every 3 months, the information for their building, collective information about your antipsychotic use, the residents who have report moderate to severe pain, and the residents that you have with depressive symptoms. That first report was actually due on the 15th, and if you've not gotten that in, just get it in now. What we're really looking for is to have a jumping off point, to know where we stand before we implement the program. So if you've got any questions about that, please ask. This is a copy of what the form looks like. If you can't find the form, let me know. I'll get you another copy. So just get those into us if you haven't, as soon as possible. And it has been pointed out to me that the form does not say what to do with it. And so I wanted to make sure that you have our information. You get it to me however you want. You can send it to us by email, and I've got our general email address, my personal email address on this slide. You can fax it to us. I've got our fax number here. You can mail it to us. This is our mailing address. You can drive here to Topeka and give it to me. That'd be great. Love to see you. However you can get it to us, just get it to us. But we've made a commitment to the Department of Aging and Disability Services, who we applied for the grant from, to collect this data. So we really do need the data from you. So I'm going to now turn this over to Stephanie and let her take over from here. And she's going to talk really more about music and memory itself. And then if you have questions for either of us, again, when she's finished, I'll take questions then. So there you go, Stephanie.
All right. Let me make sure that I get this started for you. How's that? All right. Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for spending that time today. I know that everyone is very, very busy in their day-to-day, and it's just wonderful that you take this time to really bring music and memory to the forefront. Congratulations for being one of the selected facilities. And Barbara, bringing funding to Kansas for music and memory is going to make such an enormous difference to the tools that are used to decrease the use of antipsychotic medication, and then also just the evidence-based improvement, not only with the reduction in antipsychs, but falls, increase in morale, et cetera, et cetera. I'll run through some of those with you here in just a minute. So again, congratulations. You've got the Ombudsman support. You are way ahead of some of our other locations. Take advantage of that. That's the biggest advice I can give you right now, and we are here for you to lean on us. So we've got a number of facilities who have acknowledged that rolling this out in the very beginning, it takes some time, But the best thing about it is that they have their best practices noted. And so you're going to find you don't have to recreate a will. We're going to give you good direction and the certification webinars to show you just exactly how to roll this out in your facilities. So let me get started real quickly. And if it sounds like I'm talking fast, I've only got 20 minutes, and I typically have a little bit longer, so I'm going to try to slow down. But then we will also have the Q&A, as Barbara mentioned, to really slow things down and answer any questions that you've got. So today we're going to discover what the program is, what sets it apart, to who it's important to and why, what it can do for you and those in your care, and then associated costs and what they include, best practices in a successful program, and how to make the most of your certification training, and very, very important, extend it for longevity of the program. As Barbara mentioned, it will be important for you to expand the program. You will get to know it very well, and it will be easier than it is in the first rollout. So I just want to make sure that you understand you can expand this to every single person in your community. Also, one of the biggest points for music and memory is making sure that people understand this is about developing relationships with your residents as well. It's not as simple as just putting headphones on them and then taking off. You know, you want to make sure that you are spending time with this resident. And you'll also be able to develop volunteer assistance as well. Like I said, you do not have to recreate a will. There's so much success that's been seen in a number of other different facilities. So music and memory, we use iPods and personalized music playlists to provide a therapeutic music program to individuals with physical challenges and also those who are memory impaired. We're going to certify your care organization. Staff there are trained to offer the program to clients they serve. We have been using iPods. If you're not familiar with an iPod, it may be good for you to ask your sons, your daughters, your grandchildren what an iPod is, and just have at least one person on your staff that is familiar with how to create a playlist off of iTunes. If you're like me, you are not completely up to speed with technology, but you can speak to it at different times. This is going to be a great opportunity for you and your staff to get better understanding of just how technology can benefit you and make your lives a bit easier. It's wonderful. So Alive Inside, as Barbara mentioned, if you haven't seen that yet, please, by all means, have a look. It is right now on Netflix. It's also on Amazon. Netflix is streaming it. You can watch it. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. And it is phenomenal. It is basically chronicling Dan Cohen, who's the social worker who founded Music and Memory, and it chronicles how he created it. It's pretty amazing. It's wonderful. It went to Sundance in 2014, and it won. So the Huffington Post actually ranks it in the top 10 of all documentaries you should see in your lifetime. It's really big. And we're so lucky, being a nonprofit, to have that as a tool for us. So our program currently, it's in 2,400 certified programs, and this is literally probably within the past 2 years that we were able to get to 2,400 in certifying them and training them. We're in all 50 states, and now we're in 8 countries. I have personally, I came on with Music and Memory, and I've helped Texas. I'm helping Oklahoma. I'm helping Kansas. All our middle southern states, the central U.S., assisting and getting up to speed on training. So this goes in a number of different variety of settings. You can see those here. Let's have a look at a little 6-minute clip from the Live Inside documentary. I wanted you to be able to see that. And you're going to see me kind of switch around a little bit. Our sound was a little off earlier, so let's see if we can bring that up here.
I have no volume, Stephanie.
Okay. How about now?
Mm-mm.
Okay, hang on just a second. Let's see if we can adjust this here. So this is interesting.
It worked when we practiced, gang.
Of course. Of course it did. Very interesting. So it's
No volume here.
nothing at all, huh? Okay. What we might do, because I'm showing it listed as still having volume, what I might do is just wait on this, and I'll send you the link to send out to everybody. It's 6 minutes. It's very easy to watch typically. And sometimes with these we have different issues. Okay. All right, so we'll keep on trucking here. So if you do have a look at that 6-minute clip, it will speak volumes. This is a great clip to show your staff. It is a wonderful clip to show your community. A great, great, great clip for that. It talks about Henry. He's a gentleman that was in a nursing facility for 10 years. He basically became where he would just sit, and like a good portion, a majority of people in nursing facilities, he did receive some visitors, but not many. When he got his own personal music in his ears, he just became alive inside. And I can't wait for you to see it. It is a phenomenal clip. It is also the clip that is the most viewed on dementia ever. It's phenomenal. Okay, so the good news, as you have probably read, is we've got new research out there, and the chances are our favorite music will always be with us. I love the idea of that. Even if we forget people, places, and our own personal identities, we still can remember our music. The music is stored in an area of the brain that's last affected by Alzheimer's and other dementias. And then studies are showing more brain neurons are fired if we hear our preferred song. Again, our preferred song. So let's talk about benefits to individuals. It brings joy and enhances quality of life. You will see this firsthand. It helps to increase communication and social engagement. It also restores identity and personhood, offsets boredom, isolation, pain, and depression, stimulates participation in activities and therapies, offers an individual an alternative to NSAID meds, offers a distraction, medical treatment such as dialysis and chemotherapy, Parkinson's, brain injury, MS, stroke victims. This is just a few disabilities that music can really bring some quality of life to. It reduces agitation and Alzheimer's-related sundowning. I cannot wait for you to see this in person. So music and memory program is viewed by many in care environments as an intervention or modality to achieve specific outcomes. I want to put this in here mainly to remind you this is not just an activity type of program. This is one that activities works hand in hand with nursing. So your leadership on both fronts need to be intertwined together with music and memory. You will find that you get the most out of the program when you do that. So make sure that you've got both of those guys communicating with each other. So let's talk about benefits for your professional staff. I love to provide tools. This is what we need to deliver person-centered care. So this is, like we mentioned, the offset in use of antipsychotic and anxiety, antidepressant, and pain medications. You will be meeting your CMS guidelines, as Barbara mentioned. Increased participation in speech and physical therapies. We have specific training involved for your therapist, should they be interested in getting involved with that too. But you'll find timing is everything sometimes with music and memory. You're going to find that giving a person their iPods, their headphones, 20 minutes prior to their therapies, you're going to get a better outcome. It increases efficiency in the delivery of ADLs. My goodness, I cannot wait for your CNAs to tell you the benefits that they're going to get here. Help encourage a team approach. Music changes everything. I love having your staff compare notes and compare what music your actual residents like and how much they might share in common. Increase in staff morale. It helps decrease falls. I just came out of a facility in Texas where the LVN met me at the door and said that they had just, she actually had tears in her eyes. She was talking about how they just got the report back. They had experienced 18 falls last month. I told her that I was sorry, and I actually gave her a hug, and it was just one of those moments where she was just really overrun with, she was crying. And so she said, you don't understand, we have regularly experienced between 40 and 50 falls per month. And now we just had 18, and they had only had the program going for 3 months. So anyway, it's amazing. I have the best job in the world. I get such great information. Head off behaviors. This is timing. You know your people. Decrease the number of bed and chair alarms, please. Provide more meaningful personal connections. And enhance staff and family relations. You're going to find that your family members, Barbara mentioned that you'll be receiving a splitter in your startup kit. That can save the day. You're going to have family gaining more actual visits to their loved ones out there because they both can enjoy the music together. So what's the big deal? It's just music, right? You're already providing music to clients. Yes, we you know, a lot of facilities do that. They have music playing in the background, or you have someone else listening, or you'll have live music come and play. The difference here is that we're going beyond genres. We're going beyond eras of music to favorite songs by favorite artists. We offer greater benefits to individuals. I honestly, and this may not be good news for some, but I really don't like Bob Dylan. Personally, I don't like Bob Dylan. It's his voice, you know, he's a good writer, so on and so forth. But give me Stevie Wonder, give me Marvin Gaye over that. That's the difference. Make sure that you get to people's personal favorite songs. You won't get a response if they don't have their favorite music. So available to anyone regardless of an individual's level of impairment. So those individuals who are bedbound have an equal opportunity to participate. This program can go virtually anywhere and be available 24/7. That's the big difference. So when you're finding the right music, your individual's core music window is established between 15 and 25. You think about dementia and it's eating backwards. These folks are headed backwards. So you're going to find many variables to consider, such as family structure, perhaps to listen to their music of their older siblings. I know I did when I was 15. So this is just one hint from Heloise, we'll just say. This is finding the right music. You want to make sure that you do that. So best practices in a successful program, I'm going to slide over to our latest Preparing for Certification guide. I think Barbara forwarded to you one, and literally about 4 hours ago we have finished an updated guide, and so I wanted to switch over to that real quick so that I can show you some of what you're going to be receiving. Let me see if I can bring this up so you can see it. It's going to look like this, and I'll just kind of roll through this. Just right out, fresh off the presses. So in the guide, you are going to see 8 steps for music and memory certification. The very first one is very important. You're going to educate yourself. You can see on our website a lot of various pieces of information. I'm going to swing down here so you can see that too. So successful team outline, how to set it up, how to set your entire team up for success, and then also equipment resources for music and memory. Once you get past those 7 iPod shuffles that you receive, we're going to provide you with resources that show you how to gain your community's involvement to get you more iPod shuffles. You will see the overview of the certification training, and you're also going to get that quick start certification checklist. We're all about making things as easy on you as possible and using technology to help with that. That's why you do not have to leave your facility in order to get training for this. So you'll see what some care professionals are saying. You're also going to have a quick overview. I'm just going to roll through this. I just want you to be able to see what's inside that guide that you're going to be getting. The benefits, the personalized music, the family's participation in this. You're going to see why you get certified. All these various pieces. So if you go to the 8 steps, this gives you a little bit more information on those. What's available on musicandmemory.org. You can gain support and engage your staff by doing these other things that other facilities have done. We're going to give you tools in order to build enthusiasm and give information to the families and the community, and most importantly, to your staff on how to do this. You're going to identify your program champions. This is going to be important for you to do, and we're going to go through that here in just a second. You definitely need your top-down support first. So when you're looking, let's talk about this for a second. Determine who should participate in your webinar trainings. Very important. So you want to think broadly. Who can benefit from the understanding? You want a multidisciplinary team. So make sure, absolutely sure, that you get your administrator, your nursing staff, including your CNAs, your social services, your social workers, your physical speech therapists. If they will participate, that'll be a very good thing for them. Your music therapists, your marketing professionals. Your marketing folks are going to be the ones to get your word out about your fundraising attempts. You'll find out a lot of this when you go through the certification. Volunteers, call in the troops. These are your people who can help you make the playlists. They can also help download music onto your libraries, but you're going to find more out about that when you go through the certification. So let's see. So when you sign up for the training, which you're already doing right now, and Barbara's going to take care of that for you, your lead organizer will receive an invitation via email and a link to participate in that. The webinar training is best conducted in a group, so you can bring 10 to 15 people into a room and put it on a projector. That works out really well. Maybe you don't have 10 to 15 staff members. Just get as many multidisciplinary teams involved as you can. It's going to help you in the long run. And given, unfortunately, given the turnover rate in long-term care, you want to have at least 5 people, at least 3 people, 3 to 5 people that will go ahead and understand the training. So once you get this started, you may have a projector. If you do, if you don't, you're essentially going to have everybody kind of sit around a computer, and you're going to be given the conference access number. And so that you know, you'll be able to see the actual training on the screen, but you're going to need to call in on your phone to get the sound. You'll get some more instructions once we actually get those out to you. So Kansas says that the Ombudsman have secured your certification fee. The equipment they've given you, they're going to be giving you 7 starter kit. And you want to obtain a laptop if at all possible. This is best practice. This is what's portable. This is going to be the easiest to build your actual library. If you don't have a laptop, it's not the end of the world, but you will do better if you have a laptop. And let's just say you don't have funds for a laptop. Check in with your community. Check in with your churches. There are a lot of people who have moved forward and bought a new laptop. They'd like to give you their old one. Their old one can burn CDs as well. So just so you know, that's the best practice. Try to get a laptop. You can try to do that now before you get into the certification. So music and memory, sign up for certification. You will not need to do number 7. Barbara's doing that for you. And then attend the webinars and become music and memory certified. That is the biggest piece, and you're very, very, very lucky to have this being set up for you. If you want to know more about the successful team outline, you've got it right here in this guide. It talks a lot about your administrator. It talks a lot about your team members, making sure the communication is there. You may have family members that want to participate. Bring anybody and everybody in so that they can help you roll this out. Help to make the playlists, help to build your music library. We actually, here in Texas, are partnering with HOSA, which is Health Occupation Students of America, and that is in Kansas as well. So you're going to be able to see the different resources that are at your fingertips. to make things happen a little bit faster for you. The community awareness and fundraising, the management of iPods, your employee education. Don't forget, everyone has to have in-services monthly, quarterly, etc. And music and memory will play a big part in the reduction of your antipsychs. So this is a great opportunity to go ahead and use it and schedule it to speak with your staff members. So then you've got your volunteers and interns. We're going to help you with a guide on that too. If you do want to start now and going past the 7 iPods that you're going to be receiving for this, you can take advantage of the equipment resources that we get. As a nonprofit, there are a number of folks that want to give us the best pricing on a number of the pieces of equipment, and here it is. You can check in with these folks and they will give you more at a cheaper price. Laptop with a CD reader. They've even got that too. And you've got all your specs right here, so you don't have to try to look it up. So this talks a little bit about streamlining your iTunes library. You're going to learn more about that in the certification. This just gives you a hint. Here is what is in your certification webinars. So the first one, we're getting started, and you are going to be able to, the first and the third one will be recorded. So as these are going along within those 90 minutes, if you've still got questions or wanted to review those, they will be available for you after you become certified. This gives you a little bit of an idea, and again, you're going to be receiving this shortly after our call here. And the second webinar is creating personalized playlists. The one thing I've been talking a lot about and how important that is. Webinar 3 is maximizing the benefits for the residents. How to do that. Again, get acquainted with an iPod Shuffle if at all possible. Again, you can ask anyone in your community. You can ask any of your staff. I bet one of their kids or they themselves may have had an iPod Shuffle in their life. Real quick, start certification checklist. I wanted to point that out because I love quick checklists given the busyness of the days. And you can review all of this once you receive it, and of course always ask questions. So I wanted just to review that with you, just to let you know what is actually about to happen for you, and so that you will get all the information as quickly as possible. So this is just running through your top-down support. Make sure you've got an all-in approach. It's a facility-wide program. Have music and memory take up residence there. Interdisciplinary implementation team. Communication, all staff and family familiar with the program. Part of your new employee orientation, our best practices from a number of our facilities have made this a part of the new employee orientation given the turnover rate that's out there. Any one of your new employees can take the certification webinars for free within the first year of the program, so that you know that. The right equipment, make sure you've got the right equipment. If you can at all possible, get that laptop with a CD burner. A quality music library containing only the most popular music. Keep in mind that when you're going to have people run in with all their old CDs because nobody's using those anymore. Well, some people are. Make sure that you don't just burn an entire CD. I'm just telling you kind of a hint from Heloise. If you do an entire CD, really there's only 4 or 5 songs out of a best hits CD that people will actually listen to. Don't overload your library with a lot of CDs, downloading the whole things. But Dan will talk a little bit about that on your certification webinars. Fundraising, volunteers, and community awareness. I know a number of facilities that say they don't have an activity director, excuse me, not an activity director, a volunteer coordinator. That's okay. We're going to give you a play-by-play on how to direct volunteers for fundraising and also to help you with the playlists. So Sarah Young, she gave us this quote. This was recent out of Willow Springs. A care center has seen significant improvements in unnecessary drug use because of their efforts. You're looking at going from 14.3 in the third quarter to 15.3%. It's quite the it's just quite the experience to be involved with this. This is the game changer for reduction, and you can see that through Wisconsin has now all of their certified has all of the nursing facilities certified, it's that beneficial for them. So here's a nice quote from Karen Martindale. And I can't wait to see your photos. If you take photos of your staff, take photos of residents, they give you the approval to do that. It's so nice to see it. It's just makes your day. The certification webinar training tips. Certification webinar training conducted, as I said, in a group setting. Use a projector. Sound will come from the phone. You'll receive all these instructions shortly. I already talked about a couple of these in the Preparing for Certification guide. And then what to expect after certification. Barbara mentioned there's some support calls. You can register for post-certification training that Music of Memory is doing as well, and Barbara will update you on those. There's the Kansas State Ombudsman monthly support, as we mentioned. Access to our new Care Community web-based portal. What that means for those that don't understand a web-based portal, it basically means it's an area online that you can get your resources, get new resources. You can download, make copies. This is a new care community. You can also talk with other communities who have been really successful in their rollout. So you'll also get the Getting Started guide from there. And now we can move on to questions. Barbara, if you're ready.
Certainly. I'm going to switch back here. Patient with all of us while technology works. Remind everybody of how to ask questions if you have any. So you can have either raise your hand or type questions in, and as folks raise hands, I will unmute them. And I have a question already, a hand raised. So I will unmute Crystal. Hello, Crystal? Hello?
Yes, where do you get those forms that you want us to send in to you from? My packet didn't have one in it.
The initial email that I sent out had that in there. It was a link in there.
Okay.
If you can't find that, I can send that back out.
Okay, I should still have the email. So.
Okay, you should be able to find it. If you can't, let me know. Email me and I'll get it back out to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Either for myself or for Stephanie. Questions about the program and how it's going to work here. Anything about Music and Memory? I think I've, as I said, I've already gone through the certification training myself, and our group are part of the care community now because of that training, and it's a great resource, Stephanie. I can't say enough about that. I definitely, the support that Music and Memory offers to their certified homes is really, I think, amazing and something to be proud of.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. It's so nice to hear. We work really hard, and we are a small team. I think we may have 12 employees at this point, but just keeping in mind, it was just Dan with this idea. You'll find out, those who haven't seen Alive Inside, you're going to find out exactly how this all came about. And it was just him in the beginning. So we're working hard to get these resources out there. That's great.
Definitely. So
there's sometimes it takes a little while for questions to come up. Usually different people think in different terms. If you didn't want to be on the microphone, you could just type it in to the chat box if you've got a question that you would like to put out there. There's a lot of information that's going to be gone over on the webinars, and we're certainly available anytime for your questions. I've really enjoyed the use of student programs. Those who get their communities involved, you're going to find there's an onslaught of very interested people in helping you get more iPod shuffles for all residents there, especially those that don't get any visitors.
Yes, and one of the organizations that will be on next month has done a phenomenal job of involving the community that their facility is in those ways, and just you'll see a great example in them as well.
That's wonderful. You know, I always talk to people who've got lots of questions for this, have gained the most benefit out of following in the footsteps of those who have really rolled this out, and they've got a number of policies and procedures. You've got people, and that's one of the good things about the care community, is that you can speak with other facilities who have been successful all over the country, or maybe you just want to speak with the folks in Kansas. It's completely up to you. And there's also topics. We have monthly support calls. We can help you in areas, as Barbara and all the ombudsmen will be able to assist you as well.
Well, Stephanie, I think I see a place where I have questions where I was not looking. So, okay. What is the fax number for the ombudsman program? That was on one of our slides, and I'll look for that and show that slide here in a second as we go about some more questions. That's comment. Lynn Community Nursing Home is located in Lynn, not Washington. It's Washington County, I think. Maybe I messed that up. Sorry about that. Golden Living. Just let me know who's on. Let's see what questions I have here. That one. Questions here. Okay, I think that's. I've got one more maybe. Hello, did you have a question? Hello? Hello?
No, we're fine.
Okay. I had a hand raised and it went away. Back again. Deborah, do you have a question? Hello? Okay, maybe it's not.
Like I said, feel free to type in questions too.
Yes.
Should you have any.
Please do.
And you'll find on the certification webinars, there's going to be a chat box there too that you can first introduce yourself, and then also you can ask questions there as well.
Well, I really would encourage any of you, if you do get questions or have them, to feel free to email me, to ask me, talk with your regionals. They're, again, also familiar with our program and how it's going to roll out. And don't hesitate to do that. I will warn you, I don't always get an email responded to the same day, and particularly right now with the legislature in session, but I will answer it. So don't hesitate to email me or ask any questions. Want to go to our last slide, which again, got any questions? Here's my contact information. The website on our website, we've got a page on our website devoted to music and memory, and we'll continue to add things. One of the things we will be adding will be a link to this presentation, so you can access it at any time. We'll be getting some of the resources that we've talked about, links there, things that we've already sent you, new things, and we'll send you out the new guide that Stephanie also talked about today, as well as your own link to this. So you can show it to folks maybe that weren't able to be on today, or review it at any time. So we'll have those things, again, on our website, and also we'll be sending those to you. If you want to contact your regional ombudsman, ask them questions, I've got the link on our website to find those contact information if you don't already have that, and then a link to the Music and Memories website. One tiny little thing I want to point out, in case some of you look at my email address and say that's not what I have, that's not what you have. Friday morning it changed ever so slightly. At the very end, it drops. It was first name dot last name at da.ks.gov. As of Friday morning, we dropped off the DA, so just ks.gov. Both emails will still get to us. There's an overlap period right now where we are getting emails from both, but all of our office's emails changed in that same manner. So if you look at that and go, that's not what I have, that's why. Okay, Stephanie, do you have anything else to add or thoughts?
I don't have anything else to add. I'm here. Please lean on us. Thank you so much again for signing up for this. Thank you, Barbara, for really bringing in a number of folks further into the Music and Memory program. I think you're going to get quite a bit from it. Music changes lives. And this is a great opportunity for you, so congratulations.
And thank you for being on the webinar today and for all your support as well. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. No problem.
Great team effort, I think, so thank you.
Yeah.
And so thank you all and have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the sunshiny weather and hope it stays that way for us all. So talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye-bye.